Chiefs Kingdom, welcome back to All Chiefed Up. We're back with another podcast for that ass, and it's looking like D-Hop's back in the news today, Steve. They're saying he may be holding out for a contender. Let's talk about it.
Before we get started on D-Hop, make sure to hit that subscribe button. 95% of you guys viewing are not subscribed. Help out your boys and hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 10K before the season starts. Mike, D-Hop's holding out for a contender. This is not news to me. I knew he wasn't going to go sign with the freaking Patriots. No one wants to catch passes from Mac freaking Jones.
That's what I said. Mac Jones. Nobody wants Mac Jones.
No.
Albert Breer from NBC Sports reports he's still holding out hope that he's going to play for a contender, like a true contender, a Buffalo or a KC. Steve, we've said this all along. We think there might be something to this waiting game, that he's just holding out hope. He's hoping that maybe we can restructure Chris Jones, that Brett Veach, the phone will ring. Maybe we've already been in contact with him. I don't know. I know a lot of people are tired of the D-Hop thing. I get it. But we've been saying this over and over, and it's looking like he left the Patriots with no contract. He's left Tennessee with no contract. This guy wants to come to Buffalo or KC, and I think it's KC, Steve.
Well, Buffalo, they're out of the mix. No one cares about Buffalo. He don't care about Buffalo either. The fact of the matter is they're waiting for a Chris Jones extension to get done. That way they can sign DeAndre Hopkins. I've said it over and over again that I think this is what is going on. I think that Brett Veach and Andy Reid were very, very interested in DeAndre Hopkins. That's why they went and tried to trade for him before the draft.
Yeah,
well,
obviously.
They still love him. They didn't change their mind overnight. Like, oh, you know what? Let's not get the best receiver from football last season, efficiency against man coverage or whatever. We need that. We need that. We need that guy. So why wouldn't they?
And Brett Veach are on our side. You do not ever turn down a player that's going to make your team better. We've already seen it. You can't do it. We went and signed Drew Tranquil. We didn't really need a linebacker, but he made our linebacker room better. This always happens. You always upgrade positions. Do we need a wide receiver like D-Hop? No. We're still going to be a Super Bowl contender. Would it be nice to have a D-Hop? Yes, it would. And if they can make it happen, I believe they may try it. But, Steve, you said Buffalo was out. Maybe he's looking and seeing what Diggs is doing right now, and he's like, hey, they may off Diggs, then they may need a number one, so maybe I should just sit tight. I don't think it hurts D-Hop to sign now or to wait 4 weeks and sign before camp. It doesn't do him no good, so he may as well wait 4 or 5 more weeks.
Yeah, he's going to wait anyway. That way he doesn't have to do all the stupid stuff that he doesn't want to do in the offseason, right? He don't want to deal with camp and all
the
that.
Football stuff.
Why not wait around? He's an old man, apparently, so he don't want to do all that extra work. But no, for real, I don't think Buffalo's a legit candidate for him. I just don't. I think they got their own stuff going on with Diggs. I don't think Diggs is going to go anywhere, but I do think Diggs hates Josh Allen. So I think they have their own mess going on. I don't think DeAndre wants to be any part of that. I think what he wants to be a part of is a team that's won 2 Super Bowls out of the last 4 years. I think he wants to be a part of catching passes from the greatest quarterback to ever step on a football field.
The greatest.
That's what I think DeAndre wants.
The greatest.
He's like, you know what? He's like, New England don't even want Mac Jones. Why the hell would I want Mac Jones? He's like,
what's Mac Jones? Mac Jones is like catching a pass from your drunk uncle on Thanksgiving games growing up. It's like the guy that's going to short arm it and then tell you that it was your problem because you ran.
No.
You broke that hitch off too late.
No, he's going to see, well, I got this injury in my elbow. Back in my day, I would have thrown that 60 yards, man.
Come on, Uncle Rico. He said, I'd put a football over them mountains, boy. Let me tell you something. If I'm D-Hop, I don't want to play for the turds over there in New England. I'm not playing for Tennessee. I'm not doing it. Beautiful city, going to have a nice stadium, but I don't want Ryan Tannehill throwing me the football.
No.
And I dang sure don't want a rookie doing it. I don't want a rookie coming in and doing it.
Mike, you know this. I've been saying this, that I think that he's stalling for a Chris Jones extension to get done to see if the Chiefs are going to offer him a contract that he can work with, because I think he honestly wants to play in Kansas City, and I think that Brett Veach and Andy Reid honestly want him here, and I think Patrick Mahomes wants him here. So, I don't know, man. We'll see how it all plays out, and I could be dead wrong, but I've been saying that for a long time now. You know that. I think he's stalling here.
Hey, we're not always right, but we're not always dead wrong. I tell you, we're not always dead wrong. But, Steve, with that,
time's yours.
So, Chiefs Kingdom, the ACU crew have been in the comments. You guys are talking to us on every episode we do, every short we put out. We went back and found some from yesterday. We're going to feature you guys today. So, first up, we've got K. Wayne.
Hey, Wayne, baby.
I'd take Leonard Fournette or Zeke over CEH all day long. We talked about that yesterday, Steve. Fournette basically went on TV begged Brett Veach to sign him. I mean, it looked like an 8th grade girl crush right now with the little check yes or no box.
Right.
A lot of people said, we don't need him. He's too old. K. Wayne thinks we need him. What do you think about that one?
All day long. I would do it too, man. I think Fournette's probably more valuable than either of those guys. Clyde right now, man, Clyde's just in a spot. Like, nobody wants him in Kansas City. They just don't. Everybody's mad at him. Everybody's mad at little old Clyde, and Clyde hasn't done himself any favors. Zeke. I think you take him if you have no other options, and he would take a team-friendly deal. You'll put Zeke back there. But
if you don't like Zeke, if you don't like the idea of Zeke in Kansas City, don't come at us with the pitchforks. We reported it from Charles Goldman and Arrowhead Wire.
Right.
Go rage at them a little bit. We just talked about it.
No, for real though, I'm with K. Wayne. I think that Lenny Fournette would be pretty sweet on this offense, especially like what a 1-2 punch if you had Isaiah Pacheco and then Leonard Fournette. That's ridiculous. And then you still have Jarrett McKinnon to come in and switch things up, and then Deneric Prince. He might put in some valuable snaps in his rookie season. We never know.
Could you imagine if Clyde were to glide out? I don't know how.
Glide out for a 5th round.
Even with Clyde here, cool. It just screws up the nickname. But if you can get Fournette, you got Pacheco, you got McKinnon, you got Deneric Prince, and you had Fournette leading the pack, the 4 Horsemen. What a nickname. What a backfield, baby. What a backfield. Let's move on. Hefe KC says, yes, we do need Fournette. That would be cool. Cut CEH, Fournette to KC. I wouldn't mind. Pacheco is still a rookie and might hit that second-year slump. He's right. We've talked about that. Sometimes the sophomore slump is real, Steve. Could Pacheco do it?
Yeah, Hefe makes a good point, man. It can happen to people. I don't know if it'll happen with Pacheco. He seems to be one of those guys that overcome a lot of things throughout his lifetime. So I don't know if he'll really hit that second-year slump. I feel like he's going to be like our offensive Nick Bolton, who just keeps progressing each year,
right?
Regardless. But, I mean, a lot of things can happen in football, especially when you're a running back. I still think you bring in Fournette if you can get him on a team-friendly deal because, I mean, what an insurance plan. A lot of people were down on Rojo last year. Why do we have Rojo? We don't use him. And it's like, well, I mean, he's an insurance plan. If somebody goes down, you're not going to feel that bad about it. So Lenny Fournette could do the same thing. Yeah,
you'll hear more about Rojo in a minute. But I do think if anything happens with Pacheco, it's Pacheco-induced. He runs so hard. It could just be injury-related.
Yeah.
That could be your down. That could be your sophomore slump. Maybe he misses some games due to injuries or something. But probably not. The dude is like straight-up Superman. Let's move it along. Comment number 3 we'd like to throw up is our boy Jack Green. Jack Green, talking about breakout players. He says breakout. Oh, Ricky James is going to have a career year. Jack Green is on the Richie James bandwagon. He's a firm believer in Richie James.
Loves
Steve,
him.
Do you think Richie James could be the breakout wide receiver in that room?
He very well could.
We said MVS and Sky Moore.
He very well could be. I mean, Richie James has got to make this squad first, so let's take one little hurdle at a time because there's a lot of competition going on that wide receiver room. And we were just talking about freaking D-Hop waiting around for an extension and getting on this team, so that'll make it even harder for some of these guys. But Richie James, we saw that graphic a couple weeks back. He had the most sure hands in the NFL last year. He had the lowest drop rate. So, I mean, yeah, things are good. He's coming off his best season as a pro, and that was with Daniel Jones over there in New York. So imagine what he could do in an Andy Reid offense with Patrick Mahomes. But another thing that you guys have to consider is, I know you love Richie James, Jack Green, but he's getting into this offense that can take up to a year and a half for them to learn sometimes. So you might have to be a little bit, curb your expectations on him in his first year. But I think Richie James could.
But what about, but we just talked about D-Hop. Is the offense so crazy D-Hop would have trouble learning and he may not be as productive?
Well, that's a whole different ball game, right? I mean, D-Hop's D-Hop. D-Hop, like, transcends things like that. D-Hop's going to be good for us just by being on the field. D-Hop's going to be good for us just by being on the field because teams have to game plan.
Just the presence of D-Hop takes a double team.
That's what I'm saying. Beautiful. You have to decide, who am I double teaming, DeAndre Hopkins, or am I double teaming Travis Kelce? That just brings a whole new mix to this offense. No, you can't. And then if you do, you're going to have people like Sky Moore, MVS, Kadarius Toney absolutely tearing your ass up, son. So they have to have, that's why we want D-Hop here.
The offense is already at a disadvantage because the offense plays 11 versus 11, but nobody usually accounts for the quarterback. So it's usually 11 defenders on 10 offense. So most people don't play spies, but this is why RPOs and those running backs that are the quarterbacks that are running backs now. That's why they're so effective because you don't usually play spies and there's nobody attributing for the quarterback. And so if you put Kelsey and D-Hop out there, you're automatically taking 4 defenders off the ball. And Patrick Mahomes is going to eat you alive if you're playing 4 defenders down on 2 guys.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen.
Absolutely. But yeah, Jack Green, he could break out this year. It's not like impossible, but I don't know if I would go that route just because I think he's got to get in and learn the offense, get comfortable and everything. And he's got to make this squad, man. So we'll see.
I like Richie James though, Jack. I'm with you. Let's bring up another one here. We got
the
Chris
legend
Wright.
himself.
He says Clyde and Sylvester Morris should make that list. The list he's referring to was the ChatGPT most overrated draft bust. I'll agree with Chris here. Clyde and Sylvester Morris should have been on that list probably because there was 2 guys that ChatGPT put on the list that the Chiefs never even drafted.
Right.
So I can't remember them off the top of my head, but yeah, ChatGPT screwed that up because, like I said, you just can't depend on AI to always be right about things. And so I'm with him though, Steve. We had said Clyde should have probably been on that draft bust. I mean, it's borderline for me.
I would borderline put McCole Hardman on that freaking list too, just because of the people that we passed up to take him. So yeah, I'm with Chris Wright. I think he makes a great point. I think Clyde should be on there. Sylvester Morris, yeah, I could go that too, but Clyde for sure, and maybe even McCole.
Chris dropping nukes right. That's what he does. Chris dropping nukes right. Part of the ACU crew. If you aren't part of the ACU crew, you should do that. Head over to the memberships. Join.allchiefedup.com. $4.99 is where it starts at. We give away free stuff the first of every month, first Tuesday in every month. You'll be able to do that. So go and do that right now. Or Thursday, whatever. It's the first week of the month every time.
It's first Thursday.
First Thursday. I'll get it right in a minute. Last one we're going to bring up here. Scott Vansel says, did you say Rojo?
Well, yes, I did say Rojo.
We did say Rojo. Rojo was non-existent in KC. Well, we never said he was existent. We said he didn't even get to play a lot. Okay, he says, and you guys are the only ones who believes that we're trading CEH. Steve, do we believe they're trading CEH, or have we just said, hey, it's a possibility?
We just said it's a possibility. Do I have any inside info like, hey, they're definitely going to trade CEH? No, and we've never said that. But we will talk about how it's a possibility he could be traded because he is on a contract year, just like L'Jarius Sneed. That's another one that could possibly be traded because they are on their contract year. And I really don't think we're keeping either of those guys when this year folds up for 2 different reasons. Clyde, just because he's Clyde, he hasn't produced up to his expectations. He's had injuries, and he likes to go model instead of coming to the Super Bowl parade. So that didn't help him either. L'Jarius Sneed, it's nothing about his play on the field. He's been excellent, but he just plays that cornerback position where we're very rich at right now because we had a draft 2 years ago where Brett Veach hit the nail on the head over and over and over again. I don't think he's necessary to, it's not necessary to pay L'Jarius Sneed a big contract to stick around here when we don't pay corners anyway. I mean, just look at Charvarius Ward. That's why he's in San Francisco. So, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, we never said that Clyde's definitely getting traded. But he's one of those guys that you could.
Hey, don't take our word for it. Take these guys' words for it.
Will Clyde be back this year? Yes. He's going to be on the team. Is there still a possibility Brett Veach tries to trade him for something at some point? Maybe.
Julia said it's going to be Pacheco, McKinnon, and Prince. I don't think so. I'm just going to throw this out there.
Whoa.
Like CEH, unless he goes somewhere, he's going to be in that mix. Unless they go ahead and trade him off or something. The thing about it is, though, if they don't go ahead and trade Clyde off somewhere, he's going to get reps. I mean, Andy Reid has shown over and over again every year he will go right back to Clyde Edwards-Helaire until injury or something like that comes up.
I think Clyde's probably here to stay. If they shop him before the trade deadline, what's trade deadline? It's usually like week 8, right? Something like that. I think Clyde's just going to be with us all year. They're going to get as much out of Clyde as they can get.
Well, he's got to go off. He's got to play good because this is like
right.
a defining year for him. He's going to want a contract from somebody else, so he's not going to go out there and half-ass it. He's going to get out there and play.
Right.
So, I mean, they're going to use him.
Man, Mike, you served up that alley-oop for a minute and a half just to dunk on this guy, Scott Vansel. You got dunked on, bro.
Dunked on. Hey, pay attention. I hate when people get in our comments and say we say things that we didn't say. We've always said from the beginning that Clyde's probably going to be on this team and he's probably going to produce. He's probably going to produce. We said that over and over. We said if he gets traded, if he gets traded, if he gets traded. It is a possibility he could be traded. I think every other channel could agree with that. And if you want a channel that don't want to tell you the truth, go watch them. I don't know what to tell you about it.
That's cool. Yeah, hey, you guys make sure to get in our comments on this video might be featured in the next video because we're going to start doing this as a segment on every episode of All Chiefed Up. So please get in the comments, but beware. You could get dunked on, so be careful.
You might get dunked on. Steve, we didn't talk about this in full yesterday, but Joanna goes to Twitter and says, I understand contract talks and all, but why wouldn't Stone Cold Jones show up for the ring ceremony? Chris Jones responded with, I was sick. We also said that too. We said that, look, it is too early in this negotiation process for either side to play hardball. There had to be a good, legit reason. There had to be a family emergency. There had to be something. And Chris Jones comes out and confirms that he was sick. Steve, a lot of Chiefs Kingdom's not buying this. I think you said Cole wasn't buying it a little bit over there. And how about those Chiefs? I don't know. I don't want to stir the pot any. I'm going to take him at face value. He'd beat my ass.
Well, here's the thing about it, man. I know that it sucks for some of these players to feel like they're obligated to tell everybody their every move or every decision that they make in life or what's going on with them. I get it. They don't have any responsibility to tell anybody that. It's none of our business. It's really not. But also at the same time, when you know that there's some controversy going on, how hard would it have been for Chris Jones to put out that 3-word tweet, before people were speculating
days ago?
Right? Yeah, just like, hey man, I'm sick. That's why I'm not at the Super Bowl ring ceremony. That would have squashed so much, but instead they just wait around until it's a big controversy and then they act like everybody's crazy for talking about it. Well, that's a legit thing for people to be talking about. When the guy that's, looking at for an extension, they got some contract negotiations going on, just doesn't show up for the Super Bowl ring ceremony to celebrate with everybody else on the freaking team. Yeah, that's going to stir the pot. So I don't know. This one's just as much on Chris Jones as it is on the fan base itself. I think, of course, it was going to get speculated about, but Chris Jones should have known that as well and just been pretty transparent from the get-go and just been like, hey, guys, I didn't go because I was sick. All good, though. How hard would that have been?
Hey, even better on Chris Jones, the night of the ring ceremony, why don't he just put out a tweet saying, hey, guys, I'm not going to be there tonight. Don't freak out. I'm just sick. I'm under the weather.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
That would have squashed
all we needed.
That would have squashed it.
But then they get to the whole thing where they're like, oh, I don't have to explain myself to everybody. It's like, you don't, but you do, kind of. I mean, if you're somebody that's in the public spotlight, I mean, you get paid the big bucks for a reason. So, I mean, it is what it is. But I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad at Chris Jones for not doing that, but I think it could have solved a lot of things. And I think it could have kept some speculation that he wasn't actually sick. He's just saying that.
Yeah, I hear you. Albert Breer is reporting more. Apparently, Albert Breer from Sports Illustrated, the only guy doing any work in the offseason.
Obviously.
He comes out and says, according to Breer, the Chiefs and Chris Jones should get an extension done between now and the start of training camp. Is this really news, or is this just what everybody's completely said since the beginning of time?
Dude, that's literally like writing, I don't know, I'm going to eat dinner later.
The sky's blue.
Yeah.
Thanks, Albert.
It's summertime, guys.
Hey,
I don't know.
Somebody may pass a football between now and camp.
No,
maybe Patrick Mahomes. I don't know.
I get what I think. All Albert Breer was trying to say was like, "Hey, it's not
Don't
like there's
panic.
a problem here. There's not a problem
Right.
here. This is going to get done." I think that's what he was doing. But yeah, it comes off as a little disguise blue.
Why didn't Albert Breer, if he's so smart, if he's such a smarty pants, why didn't he report that he was sick?
He should have known.
Albert, get it together, Albert. Get it together. Let's move on. Steve, Andy Reid was asked about Wanya Morris. Offensive tackle, third-round pick, Wanya Morris. And this, my friend, is what he had to say about Wanya. And I hope I can read it because the font's little. It says, yes, I like him. I like his ability, Reid told reporters on Thursday. I think that was a good pick there. So we'll just see how it all works out once we get going. But he held his own. He rotated in a little bit with the ones, as offensive line coach Andy Heck does. He kind of gets everybody going there, says Reid. I'm curious to see how he does once we get going, and he's tired mentally and physically. So let's see what happens then. It sounds to me like, Steve, they have experimented putting Wanya Morris on the right tackle, the guard, probably everything but center, to be honest. But it sounds like he played a little bit of left tackle. And a lot of Chiefs Kingdom aren't sold on Donovan Smith. And we said yesterday, let's wait to camp and see if Wanya can play a little left tackle. It looks like they've already kind of put him over there a little bit to test the waters. Are you surprised by this? Do you think Wanya can do it?
No, I'm not surprised by this. First of all, and even Andy Reid alluded to, Andy Heck does this kind of thing. He's always rotating these guys out and giving them shots. I mean, last offseason we saw Darren Kennard getting reps with the ones at one point when it first started. I mean, you're going to see him rotating in and out. So not surprised by that at all. Could Wanya be a left tackle in this league? I don't know. That's yet to be seen. I think he was a pretty solid draft pick. I think he'll be a good offensive lineman, whether that's on the right side or as a guard or even a left tackle. He might surprise us all. I don't know, but I think Wanya could be good. He's got to stay healthy. He's got to stay on the field. That's the main thing. We don't need him to turn into another Lucas Niang. But other than that, man, I think if we just give him time, I think he'll be a very, very solid offensive lineman that can protect Patrick Mahomes for many years to come. I just wouldn't expect a whole heck of a lot in the first year just because of him rotating in with the ones in the offseason.
Wanya Morris, I think, was drafted for the sheer purpose of being the exact same thing we got out of the cat last year. Played right tackle that went to the Commanders.
Andrew Wiley.
I think he's that. He can do what Andrew Wiley does. He can move over and if you have to play him on the left side, he'll be serviceable. If you have to start him on the right side for 5 games, he'll be serviceable. He'll get it. Wanya was a good pick. I don't think we'd have took him in the 3rd round if they didn't think he could do this kind of stuff. And I think he's going to be okay. I just thought it was kind of cool that we had talked about the offensive line yesterday, and we were really big. We were talking about Wanya specifically, and then Reed come out and talks about Wanya. Thought that was kind of cool. Let's move on to something a little bit different, Steve. Emmanuel Ocho's back in the news. We know that every time he opens his mouth, it's something stupid. He's quoted as saying, Lamar Jackson has already proven himself to be a unanimous league MVP, something that even Mahomes has not done.
Oh.
So he's alluding to the fact that Lamar Jackson is better than Patrick Mahomes. Can this guy be booted from TV already?
Emmanuel Ocho is a freaking idiot. Like, there's no nice way to put it. That guy's stupid. He's, I don't know. Just get him
There's
off.
no nice way to put it. He's stupid.
That's the nicest way to put it. This guy's brain dead. His IQ is...
There's no nice way to say this, Emmanuel, but you're an idiot.
Emmanuel, you are the dumbest of the dumb. You are, if Bart Scott made
You are
it
this guy. You are this guy right here.
If Bart Scott and, Clown Jamar had a love child, it would be Emmanuel Ocho.
He thinks this guy right here is better than Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. And he said it with a straight face.
Well, I mean,
he said it with a straight face.
Some people do think he has incredible balls. So I'll tell you what, Slapnuts Ocho, just shut up because, dude, you're so far off base with this. How can anybody? First of all, Patrick, get him off the screen. I don't want to look at bald Lamar no more. It's grossing me out.
Look at that guy. He looks like he would chase you around with a belt in the front yard.
If you don't want to give Mahomes his flowers, even though he's earned it, that's on you. You can look like an idiot all you want to, but no one believes your bull crap anymore. No one cares. There's no one out there being like, yeah, man, Lamar is better.
You mentioned Bart Scott. He's back. His top 5 AFC teams, Steve. Bengals, Bills, dude. Chargers, Browns, and Broncos.
Okay,
he's now not even putting the Chiefs in his top 5 this year after he said last year we'd only going to win like 2 games and miss the playoffs. So this guy is a clown.
Look, I know that a lot of Chiefs Kingdom's already been here. I mean, we've been here, but it's time to go ahead and just say it for what it really is. These guys are a freaking joke. Like, look at me. Hey, you. Hey, look at me. Quit watching that garbage. Get your news, get your analysis off of YouTube. Come watch us. Go watch Cole. Go watch whoever. I don't care. Quit watching that garbage. You guys are idiots. They're literally just saying stuff they don't even believe to get people to react to it, like us.
They can't.
But dude, there's
Steve,
no
we're
way
giving them what they want.
There's no way they're that stupid. There's just not. But the thing about it is they might be. And since they are that dumb, stop watching them. Stop. I don't know. They just got to go, man. This is why ESPN is dying, because of stuff like this.
A slow, painful death. Because you want to put Emmanuel Ocho and Bart Scott on your stupid program.
What happened to the days of integrity? What happened to the days of Stuart Scott and Kenny Mayne, Chris Berman, some guys that actually told it how it was? Now you got a bunch of guys on there like that are basically like little Skip Baylesses just saying things.
I'd rather listen to Skip Bayless over these two. Skip Bayless
is smarter.
Somehow.
If Skip Bayless is smarter than you, Emmanuel Ocho, You need to
Here
stop.
you go. Chris Broussard is starting to figure it out. He says there are 4 teams ahead of the Bills in the AFC right now. The Chiefs, Bengals, Ravens, and Dolphins. Is he wrong? Is Josh Allen overrated? I think he's right, Steve. I think Broussard. Is Chris Wright starting to put some sense into Chris Broussard?
Who's Chris Wright? You mean Nick Wright?
Nick Wright. I'm sorry. I got Chris and Chris mixed up. It's Nick Wright.
Hey, but we know a Chris Wright, the legend himself. Either way, dude.
Nuke.
Yeah. So, no, I think Nick Wright is starting to get to those guys. And I think it's not even that he's getting to them. I just think that he makes it glaringly obvious that they can't keep denying this stuff, because every time that something happens, he'll dunk on them a little bit, right? And he reminds them, they're tired of getting dunked on. They're tired of being the Scott Vanzo. So
why is it so hard in today's society that people cannot accept facts? You just can't do it. Feelings always win, according to everyone.
That, and they want to make up their own narratives. They want to make up their own reality. Like, I mean, they'll put words in your mouth just to come up with a cool comment and try to get some likes on it. You know, I don't know.
Today.
But either way, my thing about it is Broussard's probably right with this one. I would say if there's any argument, you could say that Buffalo's better than the Dolphins and the Ravens. I would say that's the argument to have. But I think, obviously, clearly, the Chiefs and Bengals are on a little bit different tier than Buffalo. Buffalo's yet to prove that they can get it done in the playoffs. Over the last 2 years, we've seen the Bengals win the AFC. We've seen the Chiefs win the AFC. Buffalo tends to get to the playoffs, and Josh Allen pulls his pants down midfield, grunts really hard, and takes a dump. That's what happens. So I don't know why he does. He stinks. And until he can prove us wrong, I'm going to continue to say that. He's just a dump taker in the playoffs.
Steve, he beats us in the regular season, and that makes him the best quarterback ever. That's what they all say. Before we wrap it up today, though, I just wanted to show you this one. This one is maybe quote of the year. We're all talking about who's the best quarterback. Is it Mahomes? Yes. Is it Burrow?
Yeah.
No. Is it Josh Allen? No. Is it Lamar Jackson?
Hell no.
Hell no. I love Jair Alexander. Supporting his quarterback, baby.
Hey,
best QB in the league. Jordan Love. Hey, I love this quote. This is quote of the year.
You can't like get mad at this one. Like, you know how Tyreek last year kept saying, Tua is the best in the game. It was literally him taking shots like at KC. Is what he was doing.
This is Jair Alexander being funny.
This is Jair Alexander knowing damn well that Jordan Love ain't even close. He's great. Just like, hey, I love my guy. I got to say it. It's freaking funny, man. We know. We know that Jair Alexander does not really think that. But, hey, he got to show his guy some love, man.
Jair Alexander, that's great. The Chiefs. I hope the Chiefs trade for that guy tomorrow.
Hey,
I want that guy on this team.
He's the greatest quarterback in the league, but Andy Reid has no idea who he is.
It's great. I mean, that is just a quote, dude. It's perfect because it's kind of like he's making fun of all these people like Tyreek Hill that says that about Tua with a straight face. It's like you played with Patrick Mahomes and you're gonna say Tua's better. Like, and you said it with a straight face, like multiple times. It's almost like he's making fun of him. I love it, man. I love it.
That's pretty cool, man. I do feel like he's taking some shots there, so I dig it. But we appreciate you guys being here. Hope you have a good day, and thanks for subscribing and hitting that bell. See you next time.
Go Chiefs.
There goes a sight from my soul.